about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's finally time to talk about 2020 reading in full. So like I just wrapped you up on December yesterday. And now we're gonna talk about the stats. But we're gonna kick this off first of all with another gentle reminder. Do not under any circumstances compare your reading to mine. If you do not read as many books as me, that is okay. I promise you, you are still a good reader and you are still a valuable booktuber and all the things. Please do not compare your reading to mine. I was gonna wear like my stay inside and read sweatshirt, but it's dirty because that summarizes what I did this year, y'all. Like, this is why I'm saying, like, do not compare yourself, because for me, this year is, I mean, who knows what next year will bring? Well, what this year? Last year, 2020 was a record year for me, and I can't tell you what this year will bring for me reading wise. I mean, I have ideas, right? I've already done my goals video. We've talked about it, but we're gonna look back at a 5-minute video from 2020 that I'm not gonna link you to, but I will throw in some snippets. How about that? Let's look at me literally last January. I hit play. Oh, it's before my song, guys. First, I hit just over 200 subscribers this year, which is great. I don't think I really started taking booktube seriously, honestly, until this pause. In this video, I opened with saying I just hit over 200 subscribers. So, hi, hello new people. Welcome. Summer, so I'm very proud of the channel for doing that. And I only have bigger and funner plans for 2020. So my goal in 2020 for the channel is to hopefully hit 500 subscribers. May not happen, may happen, we'll see. The like pie in the sky goal would be 1,000, but I don't know if I can manage that many people sign. I told you all, my pie in the sky goal was 1,000. And we blew it out the water, and I super appreciate all of y'all here signing up to subscribe to my channel to upload every 3 days. So that should equal out to about once. So I did successfully upload at least twice a week, and then come the fall I started doing 3 times a week with weekly vlogs / different vlog content incorporated, because I know not everybody loves vlogs, so I wanted to make sure y'all still had that standard content that I do, but then also the vlog stuff. I have really enjoyed doing this, and I feel like I'm finally getting into my rhythm with it, and I'm comfortable filming myself more and more. Next year the goal is definitely, or this year the goal will be to film more out when I'm reading and doing things than just standing here in front of my bookshelves, and maybe a couple new locations. But that's the 2020 plan for the channel. Not much changing otherwise, you know. Book club will continue with Amelia and Ness and Eris, and I will continue to just do my thing here and talk about. So the book club with my friends kind of fell off the face of the earth because we all just pandemic, I feel like, but I would totally bring them back if they wanted to do it again. I just don't know how we're all feeling. I want to make sure I'm reading multiple POC BIPOC authors, so I need to, and underrepresented, not just that, like everything underrepresented, right? I did okay last year on that. I did much better this year overall. I didn't do a good job tracking Kindle Unlimited reads and like that stuff necessarily, and RIP Audible Escape. I also want to make sure I'm focusing on reading a lot of my backlist this year and not buying as many books. I'm thinking to start doing hauls every month to talk about the books I bought that month and kind of track like where I'm at on that goal, or quarterly check-ins. No, since it's really not going to be a ton of books overall. I bought books. My Kindle Unread is currently at over 1,000. I do not count physical books because generally most of the shelf are books I've already read. Video coming soon and all the books on my shelf I haven't read, but still, it's a little more. Yeah, that all went out the window in March, y'all. The idea of like coming back and like checking in on my goals and stuff. More manageable. So let's see what else. I'm gonna read another 200 books this year is a big goal as well. I read 220 in 2019, so 200 is super doable. The like pie in the sky goal would be 365 books, which would be a book a day. And I don't know how doable that is for me personally. Look at me. I always have this goal of 365 books and I've yet to do it. So maybe 2021's a year. I am using the spreadsheet from Allie at Hardback Hoarder because honestly, it's pretty calm. I used Let's Read's Brock's spreadsheet last year, and the year before that I used Portals and Pages. I used Allie's spreadsheet halfway through the year. Then she posted she wasn't doing it again, and then I left it and I switched back to Let's Read's. This year, we're gonna have a live where I mash my spreadsheets together. Start on Your Shelf-a-thon, which already started, and I'm reading as many backlist books on my shelf already that I can this year. So the goal is, I'm never gonna have 0 TBR, but the goal this year really is to focus in on books that I really wanna read and that are really speaking to me, and not just a book that's popular. Y'all, I think that's it for my 2020 reading goals. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this reading year, so I hope you are too, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, so that video had 45 views, so that's cute. That was real cute of me. Also, I love the lighting upgrade I've had. I don't look yellowed. But anyways, so yeah, that was my goals last year. I feel like I did most of them. I continue to go into every year. I feel like with this backlist goal that I don't really accomplish. So this year, my goal is really just to read as many of my own books as I can and to truly track my acquisitions, so that at the end of 2021, we can have a real discussion about my book buying habits, and maybe in 2022 we can fix them. We'll see. But yeah, I think, you know, that was not a bad video for being a year old. I thought I would be much more embarrassed by myself, to be honest. I feel like I've come a long way. But yeah, that was not too bad. Are y'all ready to get into stats? Because that's what's about to happen. 2020 was quite the reading year, honestly. I think I really benefited from the stay-at-home situation. Before I talk through numbers, I want you to comment if you think I won or my mom won on our reading competition. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. So let's talk about it. I am gonna tell you right now who won. Okay. So my mom read 315 books this year. I'm really proud of her. This is her best reading year yet. She set her goal for 2021 at 100. So I'm curious to see how quickly she hits that. And then I read a total of 335 books this year. That's right. I beat her, finally. When I told her I beat her, she said, "That's nice." My mom, so kind, y'all, so kind. Yeah, so I beat her by 30 books and I'm pretty proud of that. I really pulled through. I told y'all I had a plan and a strategy, and my goal was to come up at the very end in December and fly past her and win, because then she wouldn't have time to catch up. It was a good strategy, honestly. Y'all might have thought I was nuts, but I really think it worked out in my favor. All right, let's after you've told me your guesses, and I know the betrayal when you all tell me you thought my mom won, I see you. All right, let's talk about the page count this year. I read 88,767 pages of books, and yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I feel like if I hit 365, I might break 100K in pages. I'm not reading epic fantasies every year, so I feel like my page count is always gonna feel not small, but it's never gonna be like, I don't know, massive. It's also why I'm able to read 300 and some books a year, is because I'm not reading these huge tomes. All right, let's talk about publishing, or no, let's talk about the age group breakdown. And this relates back to one of my goals for 2021. 2021. Okay, so this relates back to one of my goals for 2021, which is that I read 274 adult books, 58 YA, and 3 middle grades. I want to read more middle grade this year. I want to keep reading all the romance I can, but I do want to like do some more middle grade palette cleansers, because I've found one. I'm already going to do the Percy Jackson read along with Nicole from Who Picked This Book and the Locked Booktician, Brie. That's her name, and I want to do those. So to do those, I need to like make sure I'm reading some more middle grade. Like, that's why I'm doing them. You know, I read Kelly Yang, and I read Jessica Townsend, and I want to read more middle grade. It's so fun. It's so snappy. I feel like I can get through them so quickly that it's just really fun to read middle grade. Yeah, so that relates back to that goal. Let's see, publishing year. So unsurprisingly, honestly to me, I read a ton of 2020 releases because this year it was just a lot. Here's the data, like here's the chart for that. It was a good reading year. It was not a bad thing that I read so many 2020 releases, but that meant that I didn't get to as much of my backlist as I originally wanted to. And 2019 was that close second, I feel like, in release stuff. You know, it's hard sometimes on BookTube, Book Twitter, Book Instagram. You see the same books a lot, so you end up wanting to read them because those are the ones you're constantly seeing cycle through. And I just want to be a little more cognizant of what I'm picking up. All right, and then my rating breakdown. I think this is really interesting. My average was 4.5 stars. Was I perhaps kinder this year to books? Possibly. Books really gave me a escape this year from the world and from life in general and the happenings going on around us. So maybe I rated things a little higher than I would have in other years, but I'm not sure. So I only had 4 1-star reads, 9 2-star reads, 10 2.5-star reads, 55 3-star reads, 50 3.5-star reads, 92 4-star reads, 39 4.5-star reads, and 76 5-star reads. This is also why I am implementing the 6-star system in 2021, so I can better select things that are like all-time favorites when it comes down to picking those year lists. I only had about 60 DNFs that I tracked. I need to be better about this because I do sometimes just put books back and never track that I DNF'd it. Here are my author of color stats. So I did pretty good here. So I read 56% white authors and the other 44% were all authors of color, which is still better than last year. Obviously, like, my biggest goal is a 50-50 split. This is accomplished, one, in the fact that I get recs from so many different people that read across the board on Twitter and Instagram and other places, so I'm very easily able to find new to me authors. And I started tracking this a couple years ago, and like I said, every year I'm like getting better and better at it, and that's my main goal. I also, unsurprisingly, read predominantly female authors, and majority of the male authors I read were most likely men of color and not white men. I do have a couple white men I will read, but it's pretty limited. My most read publishers were self-published books. I read 146 self-published books this year, and Avon and Viz Media were a close second, and Viz came in a close second because I read so much manga in those last 3 months of the year that it just kind of was impossible for them not to come in second. Okay, so I didn't track my savings very well or my spending, but I can share with you a little bit of tidbits from it, and then next year I'm hoping to do like a full-on, like, real deep dive video into my spending. So I spent $422.84 on books in 2020. I read $247.96 of those books, so like the value, almost half of what I bought I read. That's not too bad, honestly, and I didn't go back through to like triple check myself that I marked things as read that I bought and maybe forgot to mark. So I want to do that better next year. The other thing is I saved approximately $1,800 with Kindle Unlimited, library cards, and my Viz Media app. Again, I want to track these even better next year, but I really think that that says a lot as far as, like, honestly, y'all, get on your library cards. I would not be able to read at the volume I do without my library card. I can't afford to spend $2,000 on books in a year. You kidding me? So yeah, I think that it'll be really interesting to see how my tracking goes for spending this year. Are any of my stats surprising to you? I don't know. I mean, I don't have a lot more to dive in around them, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with them for the most part. I cannot believe how much I read this year. I can't believe that I hit some of my goals that I put out last year, because I feel like by March I didn't have them in my mind anymore. But you know, everything really did kind of go out the door late February, early March. Let me know your favorite book you read last year, if you want, or one of them, or let me know a new reading stat you're tracking in 2021 after 2020. I think that's it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Drop a graph emoji. I'll put a sample of it right here for you in the comments. If you stayed this far, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around for romance content 3 times a week. You will also find links to the spreadsheets I use in the description box to track my reading every year, and I will be having a YouTube live where I mash my spreadsheets together very soon, so be on the lookout for that to get scheduled. I will make a community post, an Instagram post, and a Twitter post about it. You can find links to all of those platforms where I'm at on them in the description box down below. You can also find a link to the Romance YouTubers Discord where you can come chat with me and a bunch of other booktubers about romance books, along with the Immortals After Dark readathon Discord is down there. So if you want to come join us while we read through the Immortals After Dark series, come hang out. It'll be a fun time. I think it's gonna have a lot of fun dialogue and discourse around the series because there's just a lot happening and there's a lot to talk about. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, y'all.
Really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.